What's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Actually, this video marks the start of a new series on the channel that will most likely be coming out every weekend, most likely every Sunday. And I'm still trying to come up with a good name for it. I think I've settled on Versus. So basically what we're going to do is compare two players, and you can see the two players we're comparing here. One is going to be Icon, Prime Icon, Rui Costa, that I got from the SBC, and the other player is going to be Barkley. So basically, the kind of point of this series is to see if these high-rated, expensive players are really worth the extra coins. Now, if you look at their stats, obviously Rui Costas are better in almost everything. But they have a similar stat distribution, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, they both have fairly high pace compared to their shooting. They both have very high passing compared to their shooting. They both have relatively high dribbling compared to their other stats. And then they both have fairly high physicals. Actually, it's very similar in the physical number. So they have a similar stat distribution. Obviously, Barkley is the lower rated player. But I wanted to compare the two to see if we can discern whether or not it's worth it to get a player like Rui Costa versus a player like Ross Barkley. So I bought this Ross Barkley card for 950 coins. You can see his record there: 3 games played, 1 goal scored, 2 assists. He does have a 5-star weak foot compared to Rui Costa's 4-star weak foot. Actually, I feel like Rui Costa has like a 2-star weak foot. I feel like his weak foot is awful. But anyway, he is untradeable for me. You can see his record, 27 goals, 27 games with 11 assists. He cost me about 250 to 300k. I did him when the screen boosts were active the first time around, and I got kind of lucky. I played them both in this team. I played them for 3 games each, and you will see in the video in a second, actually at the end of the video, their detailed breakdown of their statistics. During the video, I will show you some highlights and talk about like how I felt using each of them in the team, etc., and kind of the process. But this is just to introduce the series, introduce the two players we're working with in this episode of Versus, and then looking at the rest of the team. So Fraser Forster actually is untradeable for me. Packed him. They did the screen boost this weekend for like the full moon or whatever. So I figured I'd throw him in the team. It's just an EPL team around them. Untradeable Klein, who I have about 50 games on. A first owner Marcus Rojo. Actually, I switched these around in game, and I also switched these around because left footers on the left side for me. Van Dijk, untradeable as well. 115 games on him. Van Aanholt has been really good for me, just 16 games though. Let's see. Henderson, I made Henderson a very defensive player with the backbone on him, so you can see it increases passing, defending, and physical. So he's kind of like a deep-lying playmaker who can win the ball back. I actually have more games on him than I thought I did. Same thing with Matic, very, very solid defensively. And I chose this this formation because, as you can see, Alexis Sanchez with a pretty good record from left wing / left mid. We saw Barkley's and good goal contributions from Welbeck as well. But I chose this formation because it really places an emphasis, in my opinion, on the cam position. So I felt like our two players could really shine. Our wingers playing a little deeper. We have some defensive stability with these two guys, so they could really go on runs and make nice passes through to the striker and the wingers and stuff. So that will wrap up this intro. You're going to see some goal highlights and me post-commenting a few points about the team in just a second, so let's get into that. Alright guys, so here we have some of the gameplay. First we're going to see 3 games with Ross Barkley, and then unfortunately my Elgato screwed up, and I'll mention it again when it comes. But my computer actually shut down in the middle of recording, and I lost a bunch of Rui Costa footage. I actually lost his best game, so I was really, really upset about that. But you do have Barkley driving right down the side there, feeding Alexis in the middle, and he does get off to a good start getting that assist there. So what I did with each player was I played 1 game against a squad battle team that was like really low rated with low chemistry, and then I played 1 game against a squad battle team that was high rated with high chemistry, 100 chemistry, and they were either like 84 or 85 rated. And then I played 1 online game, and I did that with each team. And I felt like those 3 games would give us a pretty good comparison, which would give us a bunch of data points to compare these two players. In future episodes I may do more, but I think my minimum is going to be 3. Really depends on who I'm comparing. If you guys have any suggestions on players you might want to see in this series, please let me know in the comments. It will come out probably every Sunday. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, just let me know. I'm going to try and record through the week, so if you don't give me a suggestion until Saturday, I may have to do it in like the next week's video, but yeah, so that'll basically be kind of the plan. I'm really excited for this series. I was doing a little brainstorming with my dad, actually, and we came up with this kind of idea, and I think it could be really cool for the channel. If you guys have any suggestions on how to improve the process, change it, whatever, what have you, let me know, because really I'm about what you guys want to see. You know, I love FIFA. I love all aspects of FIFA. I love playing. I really like making the videos. So, I mean, I'm really flexible on what goes into them. So, if you guys want to see something, let me know, and I'm more than happy to be flexible and give you that content. So, Barkley, through the first game, I'm going to show you all his stats at the end, but he did just get that 1 assist. I don't think he scored a goal the entire time, and I like Barkley. I think he's a good player. I think, especially for under 1,000 coins, he's solid, and he'll do well for you in like a squad battles team. If you have like a secondary EPL team, a Premier League team, he'll do well. You don't a team that you don't need a Kevin De Bruyne or a Rui Costa or a Christian Eriksen in, right? He'll do okay for you for a budget cost. But the question I'm trying to answer here is are those big players worth that much more than Barkley, right? So technically Rui Costa is like 250 times more expensive than Barkley. Is he 250 times better? No, of course not. And it's very objective too. And I'm going to tell you guys my opinion. I'm going to give you guys some stats, and you can decide if you think it's worth it or not. And Barkley does score a goal there, so I take that back. He did score that goal. And this is our online game now. We do score that goal against like an Argentinian team, I think it was. He ends up equalizing. I didn't show the other team's goals because this wasn't really about defending. We do get lucky there. Henderson putting that ball away very nicely. And Barkley's team, I think, won 1, lost 1, and this game I believe we won as well. So we may have won 2. Again, I'll show you guys the stats at the end. Oh my God, look at this goal with Welbeck. I just remember this. Look at that beautiful left-footed chip. The composure necessary for that chip. Oh my gosh. Goal compilation video coming out next weekend, probably on Saturday. Maybe I'll throw it in during the week. I don't know. I want to make sure you guys see it though, because it's going to be the October goal compilation video. Hey, it might even have come out right before this video. I don't know, but it will be out sometime. If you haven't seen it, check the channel. Really excited to be bringing that out. So Barkley's team does win this game, or you know, it's the same team, but the one with Barkley in it. So right now we're about to jump into that Rui Costa footage. There's not a lot of his footage because we're jumping into the middle of the second game here, unfortunately. But you do actually see him score a goal right here. Costa on the left foot just absolutely bangs that in. He is so good. I love him as a player. He feels so good on the ball, and I feel like Cam is a problem area this year. I feel like you really need the right qualities in a Cam, and he's got all of them. He's got enough speed. He scores again there. His finishing inside and outside the box is really good. In the first game, he scored an absolute banger of a finesse shot from like 30 yards out. I really wish I could show you guys that goal, but unfortunately I can't. A good goal from Sanchez there as well. And Costa had a chip in that first game. He had like a 10.0 rating. We do actually end up losing that game to the squad battle team, the higher rated squad battle team. We did win the first game with Costa. I think he had like a hat trick and we won 4-0 or something. But as far as highlights in this game, not a ton. There's Costa getting the ball to Welbeck there, who doesn't quite finish, but then Oxlade-Chamberlain is able to finish. So like I said, we're going to jump into the stats now. Oh, after Rui Costa absolutely bangs this free kick. Beautiful free kick. Just check it out. Oh, perfect. And that's definitely a plus over Barkley as well. And I'll get into the individual stats in just a second. So I will talk to you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so let's look at those stats I was telling you guys about earlier. So we have Barkley up at the top. What I did was I put the results above the games. I had individual games totals of rating, goals, assists, shots on target, passes completed, and dribbles completed. All the stats you can see post-game. and then I averaged them out for over the 3 games in that that far right-hand column. So let's look at Barkley first. So he had 2 games of over a 9.0 rating, which obviously in games you win, you're going to have higher ratings than in games you lose in. So, and you can see that here with Barkley. A 9, a 7.3, and a 9.3, which averages out to an 8.5, which is a very good rating. And like I was saying, and he didn't have a ton of goals or assists. Actually, I think his really good pass accuracy and dribbles completed particularly contributed to his high ratings. So he did just have the 1 goal in in all 3 games, 2 assists in the 3 games. So apologies for that. I always forget to do that. I really gotta be better about that. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so he did actually have 3 goal contributions in 3 games, which is solid. If you have a 1.0 goal contribution to game ratio, I think you're a very good player, especially from Cam. And like I mentioned before, his pass completed were good, very good. But much lower, particularly if you compare them to Rui Costa. His percentages were good, but volume was way down compared to Costa, so that's interesting. Same thing with dribbles. Better dribble percentage than Costa, almost by 10 percentage points, but way down in both dribbles completed and dribbles attempted, so interesting to know there. You look at Costa, phenomenal rating. A 10, a 9.1, and an 8.8, and then you have 6 goals in 3 games from Cam, by the way, and just the 1 assist, which is unusual. He usually has a few more assists than that. But what's that? So 7 goal contributions in just 3 games. That's over 2 goal contributions per game, which is really solid. Phenomenal pass completion percentage of over 90%, including 97%. 30, and this isn't like, oh, 9 for 10. No, 35 for 36. He was super involved. Followed up with a 33 for 36, and then a 21 for 25. His dribble percentage was low. I concede that for sure. But that may have been me overcompensating a little bit. I do just want to say I was as fair as possible. Tried to play the exact same way. Not feeding them the ball unnaturally. Just passing when they were open. Just playing how I'd normally play. To try and make that as even as possible. So now here's the verdict. Right? Here's the verdict. Costa costs about 400k on PlayStation right now if you have nothing. If you have absolutely nothing, he's like 400 and something k on PlayStation. Is he worth it for 400k? For me, no, not for 400k. If you have stuff in your club already and it's kind of written off as already paid for, and you can do it for under 3, he's worth doing it for. Like I said, a player like Barkley is very good. He's very solid. Is he a weekend league caliber player? For me, no. He doesn't contribute enough goals and assists. He, again, decent passing, good dribbling, but not enough goals and assists for me. In the weekend league, you want somebody who, under pressure, can bang a long shot, can hit a free kick, as Costa did. And added benefit to Costa is he links with everyone. If you use Barkley, you got to either hybrid him into an English team or a Premier League team with links like Henderson or Chamberlain or Welbeck or whatever, or you've got to use a Premier League team. With Costa, he will fit into any team. It doesn't have to be Portuguese or et cetera, et cetera. He can fit into any team. And for me, it's worth it. And I did Costa for about 250k with opportunity cost of like 320. And for me, that's worth it. I think he's contributed to enough games that he's paid his price back. And for me, I like Costa. I think he's worth it. And for this episode of Versus, Costa's going to take it from me. So I hope you guys enjoy the series. I hope you guys like the idea, like the concept, and are looking forward to more. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments of this video. It may not be this week. I think I've got a couple of players in mind, but it might be for next week. Any expensive and cheap guys we can compare. Just let me know. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out some other videos on the channel and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.